Hello, everybody. Welcome back to GameStack Podcast, right here on We Just Love Games Network. You are listening to episode 166, Console Chronicles. I'm your co-host, Venertron. Joining me this evening is the lovely Shalene. Hello, Shalene.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing, my darling?
I'm great. I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah,
How was your
yeah.
week?
It was
How's the
okay.
week?
It was
Good?
okay. It was a busy week at work. But today was a holiday, so that was nice. I got to stay
Holiday.
home.
What is the holiday today?
Tomorrow's Veterans Day. So today is
Oh,
like
okay.
observed Veterans Day.
Okay. And when is your
Yeah.
Thanksgiving this year? It's like next week, isn't it?
Week after next.
Week after next. Yeah.
Hmm
Ours was like last year. Well, maybe not that extreme, but it was last month though. Our Thanksgivings are so far apart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's odd. It's odd.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway,
that's
yeah,
good.
I'm doing all
Yeah,
right.
it's a busy week for me. I did a lot of work. Had some service done on my car, so that was kind of expensive. But no holes in my gas tank, so that's good.
That's fantastic. Really glad that no one drilled your gas tank.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, welcome to everybody coming into the chat, to the best little corner of the internet on a Friday evening. We love that you can join us live. If you are listening after the fact, that is also perfectly just fine. Thank you. Thank you for our lovely listeners tuning in for the shows that we post. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, you can pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. Don't forget to tell your friends about the show and join our Discord. Our Discord's pretty great. It's the central hub for all things gaming, and if you're not on there, you should check it out. If you're on Discord, just head on over to our Twitch page at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games, and then scroll to the About section, and there's a link that can get you directly in. What's going on in the Discord this week, Shalene?
Okay, Vendor, I have some news for you. You
What?
ready for this?
What's up?
We have a new Discordian.
Oh my gosh, what? We do?
We do. Yes, it's been so long. So welcome to Syntron86.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you
I
would
think
like to join.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah,
Welcome, Syntron.
indeed. So if you want to be a cool cat and join the Discord like Syntron did, how would you do that? How would you go about it?
Well, you could rewind this podcast about 30 seconds to when I just said it, or you can listen right
Oh
now and go to
yeah, okay.
twitch.tv/We Just Love Games and scroll down to the About section where the link will bring you directly into the Discord.
That's amazing.
That was pretty
That's
cheeky, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. That
Yeah.
was good. But yeah.
Uh,
Anyway.
we have a lot to talk about tonight. We've got some really good news coming to your ears. We are going to bring you through the stocks as well and open up our empty mailbox to watch moths flying out of it. So, if you want to send us some mail, please do so by all means. And then we are going to go through our screenshots and stories, which, backed by popular demand after a very long hiatus, our challenge,
The GameStack challenge.
the GameStack Weekly Challenge, is back on the show. And we got a schwack load, as I like to say in Canadian terms, a schwack load of pictures from people.
Is
So
that part of the metric system?
yes, it is. Yeah, it's not imperial. Well, it's not imperial. It's not metric. It's I'll let you know.
It's electric.
Canada is so yeah. Canada's so weird. It's like our stoves are in Fahrenheit. Everything we bake is in Fahrenheit. But
That is odd.
our temperature in our homes and the weather is all Celsius,
That's very
right?
odd.
Like it's so weird, right? We don't bake things at like 200 degrees Celsius. We bake them at 450 Fahrenheit. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we should do a show. Let's talk about the news. With this just in. All right, what do you got?
As always, shout out to Joseph Tao. We appreciate your help putting together the news every week so we don't miss a thing. We are going to begin with this article from TheVerge.com. Uh, Several former Kotaku staffers are launching a new video game website, and they're going to be the owners of the website. It's called Aftermath, a new website about video games and culture. And these four ex Kotaku staffers are Nathan Grayson, Gita Jackson, Riley McLeod, and Luke Plunkett, all people whose work we have cited on the show in the past. They're Kotaku mainstays who left the site for one reason or another. And in a recent interview with the founders, Gita Jackson says, Aftermath is about the internet and everything that comes after. I'm so interested in taking Aftermath and using the site to discuss the way that we live now and the way that capitalism and the internet have really intertwined and changed a lot of the ways that we find self expression, the way that media is made, the way that we consume it.
Yeah.
And Grayson adds, I think that video games are the forefront of that. So, um, I think this is really interesting because we're seeing a bit of a movement of people starting their own thing.
Yeah.
We also had this past week, I don't know if you had seen this, but the editor in chief at The Escapist was let go, and his entire staff resigned in solidarity. And they are starting their own website. They've already started putting up content. Within, I think, 2 days, they had already started posting videos. And their new website, I want to say, is called Second Wind. So I find it really interesting that people are starting to take their own control, take their careers into their own hands. That's a very frowny face you have, Bender. Why are you
No,
so
I
frowny?
like it. I like this. I mean, this is the kind of pushback that we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think other major studios should be afraid. They should be very
Mm-hmm.
afraid.
Yeah,
And you need to treat workers better.
absolutely.
And you need to not pay your CEO so much.
I think that a lot of games journalism in particular has suffered uh, because of being controlled by conglomerates that don't understand it, that don't understand the industry that's being covered.
Hmm.
And I like to see this, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, I if you're interested in and you want to have a say in this, write into the show at info at we just love games.com, or you can post it in the Mailstack channel. We'd love to hear what you think about this. But yeah, I wonder what their web traffic is going to be like. Uh,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be slow to build, but um, each of these journalists has a fairly solid following on their own.
yeah,
So
if you're interested in checking the site out, we'll post it in the chat here for the live listeners. But as well, you can go to aftermath.site, and that'll bring you into their website, and you can check that out.
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So you don't really see the news drop email, do you? You just see the articles after I post them.
Yes, like when I
Well,
flush toilet paper down the toilet and it just goes to somewhere, and
mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it.
So
It's
this
kind of
just
like that.
comes from somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it comes from this email that Joseph sends us every week, and he actually organizes it based on topic. And now we have a whole new section of the email that is called lawsuits.
No.
Yeah. It's appeared
Oh
now and again, but there were like 5 articles in there this time.
no.
We're only going to talk about 2 of them.
Yeah, we can only handle so much legal action.
Yes.
We should probably just start a show about game industry lawsuits. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that segment title and how many articles were there, and I was like, oh no, I can't do it this week. I can't. We're gonna pick a couple. So we're starting out with this one. This is a gamesindustry.biz article by James Batchelor. And Microsoft, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and Epic are currently facing a gaming addiction lawsuit. And yeah, this complaint was filed on October 30th in the Eastern District of Arkansas. And it names Microsoft, EA, Activision, Ubisoft, and Epic Games, as well as some of their studios, as defendants. The suit lists 14 counts of action, including strict liability and negligence for failure to warn users of games' addictive qualities, deceit and fraudulent misrepresentation, fraudulent inducements, and violations of the Deceptive Trade Practice Act. The full list of defendants include Activision Blizzard, including Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer Games, Microsoft Corporation, Epic Games, Electronic Arts, including EA Dice, Ubisoft, including Ubisoft Montreal. And the lawsuit states that a rapid spread of video game addiction is the result of these companies' concerted effort to get consumers addicted to their games in order to generate high profits. The plaintiff is an Arkansas mother, and she filed the suit on behalf of her child, a minor identified only as GD, and her husband, the minor's father. According to the filing, GD is 13 years old and plays video games 12 to 14 hours per day, despite parental efforts to limit this time. He primarily plays Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Battlefield, and Call of Duty, and is said to have spent approximately $350 per month on gaming. It is claimed that GD has spent $3,000 in total on in-game transactions and downloadable content, not including the cost of consoles, games, and an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription. Defendants manufactured, published, marketed, and sold video games, including those played by GD, that defendants had specifically developed and designed to cause the addiction experienced by GD and other users. The plaintiff is seeking damages for, among other things, injuries that the boy has received as a result of his addiction, physical pain in his hands, elbow, and shoulders, and the necessary care, the parent's economic loss, statutory and punitive damages, and legal fees. I'm going to stop right there because I'm so grossed out by this. This is such a frivolous lawsuit. This, to me, this is bonkers that the court would even entertain this filing, because this is parenting. This is not a video game company's fault. You know that the article says that the child is playing 12 to 14 hours per day despite parental efforts to limit this time. I'm sorry, those efforts were not very good if they did not succeed. I mean, take away his consoles, shut off the router. There are things you can do. There are things you can do. If parent your child. Parent your child. And if you don't want him spending $350 per month on gaming, like, you control this child's income. He's 13. I doubt he's got, an independent income. Parent your child. I'm so annoyed.
These are the kind of parents that probably gave their kid a cell phone when they were like 5. Because they wanted it and they threw themselves on this floor screaming if they didn't get it or something. I don't know. Okay, first of all, Shalene, what did you say? 18 to 14 hours a day?
12 to 14.
Those are rookie numbers. You gotta
get those numbers.
You gotta pump those numbers. Like, you're preaching to the choir here. I don't know whose side to be on, to be honest. If the kid loves to play games, let him play games. If it's interrupting his life, then do something about it. You're right, parent. But I don't know. I think that I don't know. This time around, I'm not all on the parents, I gotta say. I think it's a little bit crazy that the parents did not take control of the situation. But I also think that there is some serious exploitation going on in the gaming industry when it comes to microtransactions and kids playing games, right?
Okay.
And this lawsuit, I don't know if it's the right lawsuit, but there should be a lawsuit about this issue that would benefit all of us if it is one. So
I'm sorry.
What's
I'm
so
sorry.
funny?
I wasn't laughing at you. Blame Rousseau in the chat says the bad parenting here is not directing this kid to better games.
Yeah, exactly. What are they playing? Call of Duty?
Yeah, it's Rainbow Six Siege, Fortnite, Battlefield, and Call of Duty.
Yeah, no,
So,
that's terrible. Yeah.
mhm.
Um, but I think, I mean, there is something to be said about the manipulation of time and dollars, of our time and dollars when it comes
I
to
mean,
games as a
yes.
service. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
These people shouldn't have just let their kid freely play. Like, this is probably what I think might have happened. The parent buys the kid a console, right? The kid suddenly starts playing games more, and the parents find that they have all this free time on their hands, and their kid's not constantly whining and complaining and freaking out and having all of these like outbursts. Then the kid becomes more immersed in the video games, and the parents just don't even notice what's going on, and then suddenly they realize that this kid is totally addicted, and they want to limit the kid's time, but they just want to blame someone else for the parenting that they didn't do,
Mhm.
right? Because they lost how many thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
I
So
just You're not wrong when you say that many video games are designed in a predatory way, because they are,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm a grown up adult, and sometimes they suck me into microtransactions I should not do. But
But
I
hats.
just and yeah, they're beautiful hats. I mean, love them. But I'm just the sentence that I keep going back to here is that he's playing 12 to 14 hours per day despite parental efforts to limit this time. Despite parental efforts. I mean, I'd like to see this kid play his video games, like have fun playing Xbox without the power cable, kid.
Yeah,
Like,
or have fun
it's
playing
that
video game.
easy.
Try and apply for a credit card at 10 years old,
Exactly.
right? Like, message to all parents, a good parent creates an environment where a child's account is set up in such a way so that they cannot make any purchases.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
who in their
parental
right mind
controls
gives their
on.
kid their credit card number to buy something,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Are you stupid? Are you totally deranged that would you just walk out on the street and give any random person your credit card number? Because that's the kind of same risk that you're taking with your child. It's
I can't envision a scenario in which a parent could not stop the 13-year-old from playing video games. I can't envision that scenario.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that they're going to win this battle in court, but I do think that there needs to be a class action lawsuit against in games as a service and microtransactions targeting underage kids.
interesting. And what form would you give this lawsuit, do you think?
With the family,
No,
or
the one that you think needs to happen.
I don't know. That's the thing. Like, there needs to be evidence. There needs to be
Mhm.
research done into this problem and demonstrated
Yeah.
scientifically, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong that many games are predatory, and that can be a problem. But
No,
I
I mean,
just
gamers see the next newest thing coming, and they have to have it, right?
Mhm.
And the other thing is that I don't think Twitch or other streaming services are also helping in any regard because they see other streamers streaming these games and then they want to have that experience, right?
Yeah, the
Um,
FOMO is strong.
right? So, and there's always the next big thing is always the next day. There's always another next big thing.
Hmm.
So it's never going to stop. These companies are specifically designed to make profits, right?
Right.
How else would they stay in business? But, um, you need to, take a long, hard look at how much sedentary time your child is spending
Hmm.
because that is really, I think, the most important thing. You're raising them in an environment where they're not moving, and if they're not moving, they're not they're
That's how we
not
end up
going to develop.
as little blobs in chairs like Wally.
Yeah, they're not going to develop into healthy adults.
Hmm.
um and it's really important, especially in those early years up until at least 25, that that kids move. They engage in sports, go out for walks. It's really good. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're
Yeah.
that's enough of
Let's
that.
move on to our next lawsuit for the day.
Oh gosh.
This is also a gamesindustry.biz article. This one was written by Jeffrey Rousseau. And a group of parents has filed a civil lawsuit against Roblox, claiming that monetary losses were suffered due to its lack of child safety precautions. And this suit was filed in the San Diego Superior Court. It accuses the games platform of violating California's unfair competition law, false advertising law, Consumer Legal Remedies Act, and the state consumer protection acts. The parents also alleged that due to Roblox's lax protocols, their children spent thousands of dollars on the platform, were exposed to adult content, and were in danger of grooming. And the lawsuit states, this is a quote, not only does Roblox obscure the real price of in-app purchases on the front end and make it hard for parents to monitor those purchases, but its misrepresentations about the safety of its product also render those purchases worthless or worth less than bargained for. The complaint was originally filed in August, but was amended to add additional plaintiffs. The lawsuit joins another class action lawsuit that accused Roblox of facilitating an illegal gambling ecosystem. And Roblox actually responded to GamesIndustry.biz's request for further information with the following statement, which I am going to read. This is a quote from Roblox. Roblox is committed to providing a positive and safe experience for people of all ages. We have an expert team of thousands of people dedicated to moderation and safety on Roblox 24/7. And we act swiftly to block inappropriate content or behavior when detected, including sexual content, which violates our community standards. We have a number of features specifically designed to keep kids safe, including filtering text chat on the platform to block inappropriate content or personal information, and offering parental controls and features to limit or turn off chat. We have invested in building tools to give parents visibility into their children's activity, including to prevent them from making unauthorized purchases. We partner with more than 20 leading global organizations that focus on child safety, online safety, or both, and belong to a number of industry organizations developing best practices to keep users, particularly children, safe. And again, my response is parent your children. Parent your children. That's
When did this article drop?
just a couple days ago,
It's
the
interesting.
9th. That was yesterday, and it was updated today.
Okay. Wow, it's really interesting because between November 7th and today, their stock price went up like $5.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. But I think this is very silly. It's very silly. Um, if you as a parent do not feel that your child is safe on Roblox, don't let them play Roblox. I mean,
Stop
know
blaming the system
who
for
they're
your like.
yes.
Is this like? Are they? Is it Moms for Liberty? Is that who's doing this? Because
I
I
don't know.
feel like it should be.
You need to know what your kids are doing. Know what your kids are doing. Pay attention to your children. I mean, I don't think I would want my child to be online playing online multiplayer games, with other people. I Not until they reach a certain age. Because
Yeah, that's fair.
you of course a child could be groomed. Of course there could be predators out there. But that's the world we live in. That's the internet. You have to protect your children. Parent them. Know what they're doing. Know who they're talking to.
Yeah. Vodka Knockers in the chat says my 5-year-old knows and talks about Roblox, though he doesn't play it yet. He does do about 2 to 3 hours of Mario Odyssey on his Switch a week, and that's about it. My sister's got kids, and my nephew likes to play video games. He's really into Animal Crossing, and he
Mm-hmm.
also likes Minecraft. And he plays local sessions with his friend
Mm-hmm.
that like they go to school together, but
Yeah.
it's like a private session between him and
Mm-hmm.
his friends. Like it's not an open, right?
So his parents know who he's playing with. That's
Exactly.
the same thing as, like, I'm not going to just let my kid go to anybody's house, I mean, I don't have a kid. This is a hypothetical kid, to be clear. I have no children. But if I had a kid, I would know who the people were before I sent him over for a sleepover. You know, I wouldn't just let him go to anybody's house. I wouldn't let anybody come into our house. I would have to know who they were first. And that's the internet is no different. When you have your child on the internet, you're allowing to invite strangers in your house. You know,
Yeah.
that's, and you need to know what your kid is doing. Silly Horse says, it's 8 p.m. Do you know what your child is doing? That's exactly what I sound like. I'm sorry. But I just parent your children, you guys. Don't sue people. Parent your child. Parent your child.
Yeah. I just what I fear, Shalene, is that these types of lawsuits are going to build the history and the precedent for video game companies having an advantage in court. When there are scenarios where
Yes.
it shouldn't be the case. Because
You're
right,
absolutely right.
that is
This is
justice. They
frivolous.
go on previous cases, right? And if some of these cases end up winning, then they're going to
Mm-hmm.
reference these cases in future lawsuits, and it's going to bias.
And there
And
will
it's
be a day
yeah,
when the game company is not in the right, and the precedent will support them anyway,
mm-hmm.
because of these frivolous lawsuits.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
stupid. Okay, next story.
Let's move on. I'm angry now. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we need the sitar. Remember, we used to have the sitar music when we
Yeah,
queue up?
yeah.
Yeah, I loved the sitar. This is a gamesindustry.biz article. Once more, this one's by Sophie McAvoy. Sony has delayed 6 live service titles. And initially, they had planned to release 12 live service titles by the end of March 2026. Now they've cut that number down to 6. This was announced during an earnings call following the release of the quarter 2 results. And Sony's COO and CFO, Hiroki Totoki, confirmed that 6 of its 12 live service titles initially announced in 2022 have been pushed back due to quality concerns. In the mid to long term, we want to push this kind of service, and that's the unchanged policy of the company, said Totoki. It's not like we want to stick to certain titles, but game quality should be the most important. Live service titles in development include multiplayer games for The Last of Us and Horizon franchises, and an original IP developed by PlayStation's London studio. And I think this is really interesting. And I thought the same thing that Joseph did. Joseph put a little bit of commentary on this one. He says, delayed due to quality concerns. Oh no, how bad were they? And that was basically the same thought that I have, because the garbage that's being pumped out lately, if they did feel the need to delay these, how bad were they? I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to see fewer live service titles coming out. I'm not a huge fan of games as service, and I'd like fewer of them. Frankly, I'd like fewer of them. What are your thoughts?
Same. Ditto pretty much everything that you said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no additional comments on that.
Well, in some positive news, according to this video games Chronicle article by Andy Robinson, Spider Man 2 sold 5 million copies in 11 days, according to Sony.
Wow.
Yeah, that sales figure was shared during the company's latest financial results and covers sales up to October 30th. Spider Man 2 was released on the 20th. Previously, Sony announced that Spider Man 2 was the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game in history, selling through 2.5 million copies worldwide in the first 24 hours. The last time that Sony declared a game its fastest selling was at the launch of God of War Ragnarok, which it claimed had sold through 5.1 million copies in its debut week. Figures for the first 24 hours were not provided. Before that, Sony had announced in June of 2020 that The Last of Us Part 2 had sold through more than 4 million copies in its first 3 days. And before that, the record was held by Insomniac's first Spider Man game, which sold 3.3 million copies in its first 3 days. And the game reviewed well. It's been received well by critics and players alike. So congratulations to Sony on the excellent performance of Spider-Man 2.
I mean, we knew that this was going to be good, right?
It
The
looked
first one was
fantastic. The
so
previous
good.
ones were good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is what we want games to be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing some B-roll and I'm just watching it. This looks
Yeah,
great.
it's
I
good. I
really do
mean,
need to play these
the
these
graphics are
Spider-Man
so
games.
good. Didn't Rick play the first one? I thought
I
he
don't
played.
think he did. I don't think he has a PlayStation platformer. Has had one in quite a
Oh,
while.
it was Dave.
Might have been,
I
yeah.
think it was Dave. Yeah.
I think Dave did play that.
We should have
And
Dave on the show.
we should have Dave on the show. Hi
Maybe
Dave,
he can
if
hear
you're
us. Dave.
listening.
Dave. Dave. I feel
Dave.
like Dave is the type of spirit animal that would just pop into a conversation at on demand, you know?
I agree with
Like we could
that. I
channel
feel like
him.
I feel like Dave could just enter the podcast right now, be like, "Hello, I'm Dave Chaffins,"
And we'd
and
be like,
here's Dave.
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 Oh man.
Okay, note to self: talk to Dave.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've talked to Dave.
It's been a hot minute.
Okay, so what are we doing? I've
I don't
gotten
know.
completely derailed by nostalgia over the good times when we used to hang out with Dave Chapins. Um,
Oh god.
Sea of Thieves.
Sorry. Carry
Sea of
on. Carry on.
Thieves has a new PvP focus thing, according to Eurogamer. This is an article by Matt Wales. The Sea of Thieves' new PvP focused Skull of the Siren Song Voyage will arrive next week. This
Ooh.
is month 2 of Sea of
Oops.
Thieves season 10, and Rare has announced that the second of its 3 big tentpole features, the PvP focused Skull of the Siren Song Voyage, will arrive on the 16th of November.
What?
Um, you okay there,
Yeah,
buddy?
I'm sorry.
You
My
ready?
YouTube is all.
Okay.
Carry on.
Well, I'm
Carry
just
on.
going to continue with the news.
Yes,
The
please.
Skull of the Siren Song provides a more action oriented addition to Rare's piratical multiplayer adventure following the introduction of guilds last month, essentially unfolding as an opt in server wide race to find the titular jewel encrusted treasure. Crews can choose to join the new voyage whenever a ghostly note randomly appears on their ship's mast during play. That sounds kind of fun. Once a sufficient number of teams are signed up, Captain Briggsy materializes to hand them all 2 maps, one pointing to a chest containing a fabled skull, and the other to the key required to open it, whereupon a messy dash to retrieve them both ensues. But there's a little more mischief because once the cursed skull has been found, the ship attempting to transport it will have its speed significantly reduced, meaning that it's likely to change hands a number of times before one dedicated crew manages to cash it in at an outpost. This actually sounds super fun.
Mm.
And the PvP parts of Sea of Thieves are not my favorite, but this does sound like a good time. It really does. Um, I also really enjoyed Captain Briggsy, and I'm glad that they've brought her character back. So, it's been so long since we've done Sea of Thieves. We should get the crew together, play some Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Is this something that you're interested in at all, or are you over the PvP?
I have zero interest in PvP, like ever.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my playstyle. So, and it never
Mm-hmm.
has been, and I've hated it in Sea of Thieves ever since it was a
Yeah,
thing, which has been always. So I've always hated it.
you are amazing at it, though.
I
It's
don't know. I it's not for me. It causes me more stress than it is actual fun.
I
Yeah.
understand that. I
Yeah.
absolutely
Because
do.
the reality with PvP is that there's always somebody better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually don't come out of of an experience in a PvP combat where I have been victorious. Not in Sea of Thieves anyways. It's usually the other way around. So,
I have never seen you lose a fight.
in Sea of Thieves,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm always the one that's scuttling my ship or sailing off into the Red Sea. Yeah.
Okay, so the memories that I have are playing Sea of Thieves with this man, listener, dear listener. And we're hanging out, me, Vendor, Rick, probably Archin. And as we play, somebody starts to hassle us and we're struggling, we're trying to do whatever we're trying to do. And this guy just he's like, excuse me, and I'll take care of this. And he jumps off the back of the ship, just jumps off the back of the ship. And then he swims back on the ship a couple minutes later, and the enemy ship is completely on fire. Everyone's dead. It's sinking. That is the experience I have had with vendor playing Sea of Thieves
Okay.
PvP.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's a pretty standard tactic in Sea of Thieves. That's pretty standard. But okay, sure.
that's why I find it a little bit laughable when you're saying, "Oh, I never win these encounters."
But
Like, yeah, it's
I
always
usually don't. I usually don't. Like these PvP players, they are so good. They can snipe you in a storm,
mm-hmm.
no
Yes.
problem. And you're just dead,
And I
right?
do
So,
believe that there are people that are better than you at the PvP. I
yeah.
do. There always is someone who's better. There's always a bigger fish, as you and McGregor would say.
I welcome a PvE mode.
Mm-hmm.
I welcome it, and it's been way too long. I don't care if some parts of the game are nerfed. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if parts of the game are missing. I just want to sail around the seas with my
With
dog
no fear. Yeah.
and have no fear. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
The
want.
low stress experience. That would
Yes.
be
And I want to
really
listen to
nice.
Bob Marley, and I
Is
want to
that
eat
out yet? Have
coconuts.
have they released the Sea of Thieves, the PvE?
Didn't you
Has
had
that come out yet?
you had just said that it comes out right away?
I think
Isn't
so.
that was reported in the article?
Okay. Well, that's
Uh,
exciting. We should
November
definitely do that.
16th.
No, that's the
No.
new PvP
Oh, that's
one.
the PvP
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I
Yes.
don't know when the PvE stuff is then.
It may have already launched.
Oh,
So,
no, it says, but the bulk of the PvE activities, including story content, will be available across the entire open world in Season 10, in the final update. That's
okay.
due to
So we may
launch
have
sometime in
another
September.
another update. Well, it's November. So,
Yeah, but we're going to blink, Shalene, and it'll be September 1st, or December 1st.
okay. So, anyways, the takeaway that I have from this is that we should play Sea of Thieves.
Sure. Yeah.
And our next article is this is the one that I've been waiting to talk about.
Oh,
This is a BBC News article by Nicholas Young and Tom Gherkin. The Legend of Zelda will become a live action film. Nintendo and Sony will be producing this.
really?
Yes, renowned video game designer
I love
Shigeru
this.
Miyamoto and Avi Arad of the Spider-Man trilogy will co-produce this film with the Maze Runner's Wes Ball directing. They have not announced any cast or the plot of the film. In a post on Nintendo's Japanese Twitter account, Miyamoto revealed that he has been working on the film with Arad for some time. He said that the development has finally started, with Nintendo being heavily involved in production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it, he wrote to fans.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, of course, one of Nintendo's tentpole franchises, and it is following on the heels of a very successful Super Mario movie. So we will see. We'll see what happens. Sulior mentions in the chat, did you guys hear that Machine Gun Kelly is campaigning for the role of Link? I really hope that doesn't happen. So do I am not a huge fan of Machine Gun Kelly. I don't want to see him as Link. Who would you cast as Link?
Hmm. That's tough.
And do you want Link to talk in this film?
I want them all to talk. Otherwise, what are they being paid
Yeah.
for?
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, that's unfair. That's unfair. Um, I don't know.
I honestly, okay, stay with me here. Anya Taylor Joy, I want her to play both Zelda and Link. I think she could do it. I think she could pull it off.
I think,
She looks like a Hylian.
yeah. I think maybe I would like maybe Aston Butler. Austin
Who's
Butler?
that? Austin
He
Butler? Who's
played
that?
he's in Tom Hanks' new World War II drama, and he also played Elvis in
He
the
is
Elvis.
beautiful.
Oh,
What a
he's
lovely
gorgeous.
man.
He's so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, Vodka Knocker says James McAvoy.
James McAvoy.
Absolutely not. He's too old to play Link.
I think Aston Butler would, but he's too tall. Like they're gonna have
Yeah,
to. They're
Link
gonna
is a
have.
little guy.
Like
Link is
they're
Link is
gonna
a
have to
little
shoot the
guy.
whole movie with the guy on his knees, or or like use CGI or something to shorten his
Yeah, that's
legs.
one of the things that's different about Link from other video game heroes. He is a little guy.
Like you can't have a tall Link.
No. No, it wouldn't make
That would be a
sense.
broken Link.
Nice.
Get it?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, for now it's a missing Link. Um I want Tingle to be in the film, and I want Tingle to be played by Danny DeVito.
Yes, agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
These are huge castings, Shalene. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that watch this.
Yes.
So, whoever fills these roles, it's going to be a huge deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because the
Absolutely.
other thing is, unless they're doing voiceover like they did with the Super Mario Brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see a I don't think I would like to see an animated Zelda movie.
Really.
I think I would like to
Yeah.
see like as realistic as
Hmm.
possible.
Okay, Sulior says Timothy Chalamet might make a good Link. And honestly, I can see that. I can see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be? Right into the show. Actually, yeah, he would make a good Link. They'd have to dye his hair though.
Yeah.
God, his face is
Um
so chiseled. I mean, could wash my shirt on his chin. Like, I could cut cheese with
yeah,
his
okay.
cheekbones.
Timothy Chalamet as Link, Anya Taylor-Joy as Zelda. I think we've got it. I think this is going to be great. Who's going to be Ganondorf?
I
I
mean,
feel like maybe like James
Ian
Bautista.
McClellan is like the only logical choice for any cool supervillain.
No way. No way. Ganondorf is always so buff. He's so buff. It
Oh
has to be
yeah.
a very buff dude. Hmm.
Um
Let's see. And how are they going to do the like the non-humanoid species, you know, like the Zora, and are they
the
going to have the Rito,
Gorons.
the Gorons? What are they going to look like in this
Yeah.
film? Are they going to do a good job with that, or is it going to be some kind of horrible abomination? I am so interested to see this. Oh my gosh. Okay, we've spent too long
I
on a
can't
lot of
wait until
these.
they release the cast, right?
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So there was I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you said Hunter Schafer.
I don't know who Hunter Schafer is.
Hunter Schafer has been like accosted on social media by Zelda fans. They want her to be Zelda.
Oh, she would be
Let
great. Look
me
at
let me
her.
put the link in the yeah.
She also looks like a Hylian.
Yeah, so let's
Look
just
at
pull
those
this up in the
ears.
B-roll. So,
This
yeah.
woman is an actual elf. Hello. Wow.
These people are so
Vodka Knockers
beautiful.
says Dwayne Johnson is Ganondorf. Let's go.
Yes, yes. I also think that they should put Brendan Fraser in there somewhere
I mean, sure, I'm down with
because it's
that.
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser is amazing.
Yeah,
He could play Zelda's dad. I feel like he would be a great King of Hylia.
yeah. So
Yeah.
good. And who's going to play the Korok dude?
Ooh, Idris Elba for Ganondorf. I would buy that. I would absolutely buy that. I like it. I like it. Wow. Okay. What'd you say, Vendor? I was not paying attention. I was just fawning over
The
Idris
Korok
Elba.
dude with the maracas.
Oh,
Who's going to play him?
oh my gosh, what is his name? I forgot his name. Hestu.
Hestu is the best dude.
Jack Black for Hestu.
Yeah. Jack Black has to be in there. That is
Mm-hmm.
the only way I'm watching the movie. Just saying. He's got to be in there somewhere. And you
I
know
will
what?
watch anything with Jack Black in
You know
it.
what? I'm betting Nintendo is going to give him first rights to some role.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, he was in Super Mario Brothers and he did such a fantastic job. I feel like they're going to be calling him again. Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like there were
Peter Dinklage. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great. What would
I'm
he
really
play?
interested to see how
Gosh.
this works because the people in Zelda, in the world of Zelda, are all such weirdos. That's part of the joy of the Zelda universe.
Yeah.
Everyone is a giant weirdo. And are they going to go with that zaniness? Are they going to
Oh,
lean into
probably.
it? I
Probably.
hope so. I really do. Yeah,
I gotta
that's
play Tears. I
amazing.
gotta finish Breath of the Wild, and I gotta play Tears of the Kingdom before this comes out
Hmm.
because, yeah.
I hope it's like I hope there's some Twilight Princess influence on this film. Did you ever play Twilight Princess?
No, no. The last Zelda that I played was the Ocarina of Time
The Ocarina of Time.
on N64. I know, Ocarina, but we call it Okanara now because
Okay.
Rick. So Peter
I want you to
Dinklage could
look
play
up a
Tingle.
character called Uku, Ooccoo, and this was a character in Twilight Princess.
That is terrifying.
It is. It's the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, isn't it?
Yes.
So everybody at home, look that up. Um,
You know who could play that? Is oh gosh, what is that? What is that actor from um X Files? Starbuck, and he's like hypnotized.
I don't remember that. I don't remember
Uh,
that.
is it Luther Lee Boggs?
Luther Lee Boggs, who's
He
that?
plays a mass murderer in X Files. Who is he played by?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I
Um,
remember this guy. I remember his episode. Brad Dourif is his name.
Brad Dourif. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel
he
like
could play Uku.
Brad
Mm-hmm.
Dourif somewhere in Zelda would make a great villain, or like some sort
Mm-hmm.
of like deity, or like, um, those wizardy dudes that are in like
Yeah.
Kariko Village or whatever.
I, I'm cautiously optimistic for a Zelda film because the Mario film was so fun. I felt like it was a success.
And who's
So
that cat lady?
what cat
The
lady?
short wizard cat lady. What's her name?
There's a wizard cat lady?
Yeah, she's at the top of, is it Kariko Village or Hateno Village? Oh God, what's her name? She's got that. She's in the science lab place.
Oh, do you mean I've forgotten her name? I've forgotten her name. I think I know who you're talking about.
In the research lab. Um,
Mm-hmm.
da, la, 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 la. Per
Pura.
Pura.
Pura. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's
Well,
gonna play that? I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't know. I don't know. We will see. We will definitely follow this going forward.
Exciting. We
And
spent way too much
keep you
time
guys updated. We spent
hypothesizing.
way too much time, but it was a good time.
Okay, next.
So
Go.
we're returning to gamesindustry.biz, another article by Jeffrey Rousseau. And Valve has unveiled the Steam Deck OLED console, which will be shipping on November 16th.
Oh,
And
that's exciting.
yes, it'll have a 7.4-inch display that will feature brighter colors and be 5% lighter than the base model. Valve has also stated that the Steam Deck OLED has 30 to 50% more battery life when compared to the original console. It will provide faster game downloads due to its Wi-Fi 6E capability. And the 256 gigabyte LCD model will be $399. The 512 gigabyte OLED model will be $549, and the 1 terabyte OLED model $649
Hmm.
in US. So,
Hats off to Valve for breaking through that ceiling on handheld consoles, because they've made a name for themselves, and we've seen other handheld consoles trying to be
mm-hmm.
born in this industry that have just sort of fizzled out. And I thought that this was really going to be the case here, but no.
Yeah. And there are so many people in our community that play their Steam Deck regularly
Yeah,
and just
they're
love
a
it.
Nintendo rival now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's much more successful than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So, uh, great. So if you're in the market, I would wait for the OLED. Our next article is an IGN article by Ryan Dinsdale. Rockstar Games has announced that it will finally debut the highly anticipated trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto game in December of 2023.
This is huge.
This was revealed in a post on the Rockstar Newswire. They confirmed rumors from earlier in November that they will share a first official look at the game next month. There was not much news. They just stated that they are very excited to finally debut the new game. We are very excited to let you know that in early December, we will release the first trailer for the next Grand Theft Auto. We look forward to many more years of sharing these experiences with all of you. And I found it really, really interesting that at no point in their marketing did Rockstar call the game GTA 6. You're seeing GTA 6 everywhere, but that's all websites. In Rockstar's communication, they only called it the next Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, that's probably because there's an embargo.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably embargoed.
I'm just wondering if it's going to be Grand Theft Auto 6 or if it's going to be something else. Like a half step of some kind. I don't know.
I mean, GTA is like it's the Kleenex of driving theft. Like it, we don't call it tissues, we call them Kleenex.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, but
I feel like what we are likely to get is not necessarily GTA 6, but an always online GTA experience.
I mean, they already have that.
Yes, and I think this is going to be the next evolution of that. It's going to be
Oh, that's
GTA
gonna.
Online, and I think that the single player aspects of GTA are going to be integrated into a GTA Online type platform. That is what I foresee as the future of Grand
You're
Theft Auto.
probably right, and they're gonna service the heck out of it.
Yes.
There's gonna be
I
microtransactions and subscriptions galore, and it's gonna be wild.
This is one of those times where I really hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
I
So,
don't know. I mean, GTA is so known for their story. This is Rockstar we're talking about,
mm-hmm.
right?
I think we'll still have that, but I think it's going to be incorporated into an online only experience.
Yeah, possibly.
So,
Like Sea of Thieves
Tim
Tall
Twig is in
Tales
the
or
chat.
something
Hi,
like that.
Tim.
Hi Tim.
He suggests Chinatown Wars 3D. If it was that, I would love that so much.
Yeah.
Chinatown Wars was so good.
We should have
So
Tim on
good.
the show too.
We
Tim, you
should
want to
have
come on
Tim
the
on the
show?
show.
I mean, not like
Tim, you
right
want to come on
now,
the
but
show? Yeah.
eventually, like, yeah.
Like maybe next week.
Yeah. Okay, next. What else you got?
Okay, I don't know. What's the next thing? The next Mass Effect likely will not be releasing until 2029 or later. This is a Video Games Chronicle article.
Come again?
Uh, Mass Effect?
2029, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
Well, I'm not going to hold my breath.
N7 Day happened this week, and BioWare released a little teaser for the next Mass Effect game. It was basically just a humanoid creature in an N7 outfit. That was all we got to see. I feel like a lot of the internet went bananas claiming that this was Shepard. And I'm gonna be mad if it's Shepard. We've already resurrected Shepard once. That's enough. I mean, what is this, Dune? Um, but Giant Bomb had a morning show on Wednesday, and they claimed on Giant Bomb to have sources that stated that this game will not be out until about 2029. So,
I mean, how do you even forecast for that? How do you forecast
that's only
like
6 years.
6 years away?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess so. It just feels so far away.
I think that
Where are we all
this
going to be in 6 years?
I think that this CG trailer that they released is not even a vertical slice of a game. I think it's its own entire separate thing that was developed specifically so that they had something to show us on N7 Day.
I love
I think that the next Mass Effect title is in complete development hell alongside Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
and Skull and
Again,
Bones.
I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to be wrong. I want Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
She
I
doesn't.
want the
She
next
doesn't love
Mass
to be
Effect.
wrong.
Um, I don't love to be wrong, but I would love to be wrong in this case. So we'll see. We shall
I like
see.
that you called it a vertical slice. I
Mm-hmm.
love that.
Yeah.
Because the scientist in me would have been like the cross section of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you love Mass Effect, right? It's
Mhm.
one of your faves. So
I
I don't.
have an N7 logo on my car. That's the only bumper sticker I've ever put on a car.
Wow.
Ever.
You know, I was thinking about getting a Grogu sticker and putting it in my back window because
And for it.
I've got a
Yeah.
two-door Mini Cooper and it's a bit like a spaceship,
Mm-hmm.
just like his head, like just peeking out.
So cute.
Yeah.
So cute. Speaking of spaceships, Starfield won a Golden Joystick Award. They are the Xbox Game of the Year for 2023. This is a Games Radar article by Duncan Robertson, and the Golden Joystick Awards, powered by Intel, were recently held, and Starfield is the best Xbox game, beating out the competition. Chance of Sinar, Hi-Fi Rush, Planet of Lana, Dead Space Remake, and Pentiment, which is frankly not much in the way of competition. So I feel like that means it's been kind of a bad year for Xbox.
Well, I'm just shocked that No Man's Sky also won a Golden Joystick Award.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a
And
very old game to be winning current awards.
I know, I know. Sean Murray posted on Twitter like just today. Holy crap, you guys! No way, thank you. And
Mm-hmm.
it was No Man's Sky was one of the it was the still playing award,
Mm-hmm.
games that people
Well,
are
yeah,
still
okay, that makes
playing.
sense.
But I mean, honestly,
Um,
the level of dedication
it's
put
amazing
into
what they've
making
done
this
with No
game
Man's
still
Sky. It really
playable
is.
for people,
Really
like,
is.
right, they have so committed to
Mm-hmm.
the blunder that they had at the start that it's, I don't know,
Indeed.
I feel like he's going to be this old man retired still working on No Man's Sky, and people are going to be like, it's okay, you can stop now, we forgive you.
We'll be in a stage of the future where the games just stream directly into our
He's
brains,
still going to be sitting
and
in front of a
Sean Murray
monitor.
emojis are still popping up on Twitter. Oh my
uh,
gosh, that's amazing. That's all I've got for the news.
Somebody hire that guy into a higher level position where he can just like sit cushy. Oh
Well, I
man,
mean,
so
I
good.
don't think he's the type to do that because he runs the studio
He would
now.
have done it already.
So
Yeah, exactly. He would have done it
yes.
already. Uh, well, my bumper didn't work. I pressed it and nothing happened. Let's talk about the stocks. And of course, these prices as of 4 p.m. close today Eastern Standard Time in comparison to the previous week. We've knocked Activision off the list because it's been, as you know, taken over by Microsoft. But we've got a new kid in town. We've added Roblox price stock to our list. So
Did we?
yes. So
We
Sony
did that?
closed out at $85.94, down $1.48. Microsoft up $16.87 at $369.67. Nintendo up 60 cents at $11.40. Take-Two up $8.97 at $147.88. Ubisoft up 78 cents at $29.15. EA up $3.19 at $132.78. Tencent holding steady, down just 9 cents at $39.07, and Roblox up $3.66 at $38.42. That is your weekly game stock segment. And it looks like most of the stocks ended the week on a good note. So that's really good.
Yeah.
We don't have any mail, which is unfortunate, but I'm still going to play the bumper because I love it.
You've got mail.
It should also say, you don't have mail. um, how can people write into the show, Shalene?
You can write into the show via traditional email using info@wejustlovegames.com. Info@wejustlovegames.com.
Mm.
Alternately, you can post in the Mailstack channel on our Discord. The Mailstack channel is one of the top channels on the list. It's right there, has a little mailbox emoji. And just post your question or commentary in there, and we will talk about it on the show.
Yeah. Okay. So Now we need to talk about what the community is playing.
I'm so excited.
And this, back by popular demand, we last week had just randomly talked about doing a challenge on the show. You know how we like to plan the show on the show. And we decided that we were going to do a challenge again. And apparently the community really wanted that, but nobody told us. So because we got so many challenge entries, and we also did get some regular screenshots as well mixed in. So that's wonderful. So I think what we'll do is we'll keep with the challenges, because people love them. But if you want to submit just regular screenshots and stories going about your day in whatever game you're playing, we invite that as well. No pressure. Yeah. So this first screenshot, and this is a challenge screenshot, I believe. Let me see here. No, this is not a challenge screenshot. This is from VOD, and he says, just wanted to share I finally took some time to really sink my teeth into Starfield shipbuilding some 150 hours later. I essentially bulked up on the Razor Leaf from the Mantis quest line, particle beam weapons all around, doubled the cargo space, added some habs and workbenches and crew stations, and swapped the reactor engines grav drive for the best variant in the same class. Ultimately, I realized it sounds simple enough, though my lord was there so much trial and error during the process. And he's got this this pic of the Razor Leaf, and it's a pretty hefty looking ship. And he's got all the specs there on the screen as well. Explain this to the listeners.
I don't know that I can. It's a very beefy looking ship. It looks somewhat like an insect carapace to me. I don't. I feel like this is the kind of ship that would take a licking and keep on ticking.
It looks like there's enough cargo space to carry all of your hats, Shalene.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think we can fit all of my hats in the cargo hold.
Yeah, so we'll be okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We also have this one from VOD as well, of the ship in action going through an asteroid field. Looks really cool.
Love it.
The graphics look really good here. Mm-hmm. And also this one with its thrusters boosting in the background.
Yeah. Starfield is a dank, pretty game.
It is. For a minute there, I thought you said dank. This next post from Suliore says, for the photo challenge, since it's N7 day, I've hopped into Mass Effect for the first time in a while. Here's a shot from Mass Effect 2.
And, this is great. This takes me back. And for the listeners, just to remind anybody who didn't catch it, what was the challenge?
Oh, that's right. The challenge was revive an old game from your stack and tell us where you left off. Take a screenshot. So,
yeah. It's great.
So he's got his character standing in some sort of terminal. There's a bunch of people standing around and
Garrus
some looking at
Miranda.
screens. Thank you.
Got a couple of Asari over here in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Then we have this one also from Suliore. Says this is on Ilium, and here's a Mass Effect Andromeda. One I haven't actually finished yet. This is on Kadera.
The character on the right is named PB, and I actually don't know who this person on the left is. I didn't finish Andromeda.
We've got another screenshot. This is just a regular submission from Daddio. He says, sorry, not part of the challenge, but I found this doing the snow globes in Starfield. It's a non-quested one? Non-quested one. There's a typo there. I saw videos about it, so looked for it. It's the Tower of Pisa. And it is just as you would suspect it would be. It looks a little bit shorter than the actual Tower of Pisa. Mm-hmm. Less levels, but it is leaning. Yeah. And it's there in some sort of desolate desert wasteland.
I feel like this doesn't speak well to what happened to Earth in the Starfield timeline.
Yeah. Is this presumably on Earth? Is that the thing?
Well, that's where the Tower of Pisa is.
I know, but I don't know. This is Starfield. It could be on some other planet in a distant galaxy. Randomly generated. Who knows? We also have this one from VOD. This is VOD's challenge photo, and he says, I hope I hopped back into Borderlands 3 for a bit. I finished the main story years ago when the game first released, though I haven't played most of the DLC yet. Ah, I miss that sweet glow of the legendary loot. And he's got a picture here holding his weapon and just strewn across the floor or the parkway or whatever it is all of these pieces of loot, and they all have their shining beams lighting up. It's very good. Then we have this one from RTZ13. This is a great one. He says, my challenge submission. This is the Talos Principle, and it's a
Ah,
puzzle game placed in a strange, mysterious world. Similar to Witness, Talos Principle 2 just got released with overwhelmingly positive reviews. I decided it's my turn to try the first game. And this shot is of him in like a stadium or
amphitheater.
amphitheater. Thank you. It's like a very Romanesque amphitheater. There's some, columns that are fallen over and things like that, trees and stuff. And then he also takes this one of a courtyard, also very Romanesque. And yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I'm
Thanks.
hearing really good things about the sequel to this game.
Yeah, thanks for submitting that, RTZ. Then we've got a couple smaller screenshots. I'll have to zoom in here. These are from Carrick Soon and Carrick Soon Lee. Lee? Like
Lee.
Jessica Stars Lee, right? Yeah.
Lee.
He says, here's some Starfield pics. I don't know the parameters of the challenge. So these are presumably just regular screenshots. Yeah. So this looks like his character, and it's got a hat on that says Nova on it. And this presumably his spaceship. I love it. Looks very good. It's very long, and it's got like these legs that protrude out the sides, but
it looks a little bit like a puppy.
Yeah, it's very cute. Perhaps maybe that's not what you were going for. Speaking of cute, there's also this screenshot of what looks to be like a mushroom octopus thing.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. Are you having like Elden Ring vibes again, Shalene?
Yes, like
Yeah. And it looks like this was like the end of a hunt. This was their trophy win. Because they're standing there with a double barrel shotgun and what looks to be like a guy holding a small garden trowel. I don't know. I feel like we need to zoom in.
It does look a little bit like a trowel.
It's a garden. That is a garden trowel.
Yeah, that's a garden trowel.
And then this last one from Lee, and it is his ship taking off, and it's so cool.
That looks so good with all of the jets flaring.
Yeah, on the bottom, it's very golden yellow, and yeah.
That's a great screenshot, Lee.
Thank you for submitting. Then we've got a screenshot from Joshy, and he says, I haven't been playing any games much. I played a bit of Cyberpunk, but been spending most of my time prepping my next game. And as you guys know, Joshy preps for Dungeons and Dragons. Is that what it is?
He does a lot of tabletop games.
Yeah, a lot of tabletop. So, but he wanted to post this as the interactive landing page or an example of what he's working on. He said, I've set up so that when you click on the foes, it'll open a journal entry where the players can add details about the foes they've encountered.
That's
and I can
so
modify it for pertinent details as well as relationships. Same for friends. The logbook will open a quest log. If you look on the maps, the regional one has some of the major cities of the country and will open a journal with details about those cities with common knowledge. The bottom book is two things. The left will be a fillable PDF of their rebellion deets. The right, a general note section. The coins will link into party treasure, and the 4 blank cards will link to each other or each of the character sheets. So this adventure is essentially them fighting against a fantasy fascist government, which it primarily takes place in one city. So the NPCs they meet, good or bad, many of them will change over time. Same with the locations. And it looks really good.
Joshy. Yeah.
Yeah. Very really nicely designed. He's really becoming a little video game development studio over there in Vancouver. He's in good company. And then we've got this one. This is Frankel's Konina, Frankie. She says Hubs tried out Fallout 76 with the free week, and so after some time away, I'm drawn back in and found I had an L5 character that I could help grow up.
Yay,
And
Frankie.
yeah, so
So this outfit is called the birthday suit. They're doing a little celebration right now for the birthday of Fallout 76, and their challenge is to do certain activities in your birthday suit.
nice, cute. And then we've got a screenshot from Taz. He says, "This is the view of my cabin in Medieval Engineers, which I had not played for a long time. I suspect that this is probably a challenge entry."
Yes,
Yeah.
this is probably the same maker as the Space Engineers game that he plays all the time.
Perhaps leave it
Let
to
us know,
Taz
Taz.
to play Medieval Engineers. So
This looks fun.
yeah. For our audio listeners, he's standing there in the dark with a stone axe, and he's looking at his cabin, which looks really good actually, very sturdy. Yeah, it's up on high stilts, probably 6 feet high off the
I think it
ground.
looks like a safe cabin.
Yeah, it looks good.
Ah, yes, he says this is the same developer.
Ah,
Space Engineers.
and then a couple screenshots from Lee.
These
And
are
he
his
says
challenge entry.
he comes back to the screenshots and stories channel. He's like, okay, now I know what the challenge is. So he said these are from my time with EVE Online back in 2009.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there's a screenshot of a ship in space. It looks very ominous, like it's coming to kill you.
It does.
Here's another one of a screenshot of a ship taking off with some sort of, I don't know, looks like a
galaxy or something.
event horizon in the background, or gravitational
looks
something.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Those are cool screenshots.
This one of a spaceport and another spaceship looks really cool. Very Borg-like. Makes me want to watch Star Trek. And this one of a ship sort of looks like it's mid-explosion.
Dang.
Something is exploding.
That's some kind of a big space
very
battle.
Dangerous, yeah. And that's the end of our screenshots and stories. We do need to have a challenge, which we haven't thought up yet.
Well, I wondered if we might be able to keep this one going for another week so that I can participate.
Okay. So we'll extend this week's challenge into next week. So if you would like to submit again, please submit your screenshots to the Screenshots and Stories channel. The challenge, once again, was to revive a game from your stack of games.
From the stack.
Yeah, and post a screenshot of where you left off in the game and tell us where you left off.
I will try this weekend to get caught up with posting shows so that the people will have time to hear what the challenge is if they're not a live listener.
Yeah. And let us know what you guys want. Do you want a separate channel in the Discord for the challenges? And if that is the case, I think maybe that's also the place where people can suggest new challenges as well.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your challenge ideas as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's what the community is playing. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Of course, I've been playing some Animal Crossing. I've jumped back into my island after a brief hiatus. There was like 4 or 5 days there where I hadn't touched Animal Crossing for the first time in like 3 months.
Mm-hmm. It
was quite surprising. But sometimes you just need a break from a certain game.
Absolutely.
And so I go back in, right? And it was chaos. It was chaos. There was weeds everywhere, Shalene. My whole island was covered in weeds. Celia was sitting in the plaza square rocking back and forth, and she's like, "Where have you been? I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you."
I hate it when they give that dialogue that like, "You're not mad at me, right?"
Yeah. Are we okay? Are we still friends? Oh, it was terrible. Apple had one of her fish dreams again, so I had to go over to her house and play high card, low card.
They're a bunch of little gamblers.
I know, right? It's terrible. I finally got the weeds pulled, though, and I did take down all of my Halloween stuff. So the island is once again less decorative. I am preparing for Christmas, but I think I
Mm-hmm.
want to engage in the long and arduous journey of moving houses around. So
Ooh, that
moving
will be a
villagers,
journey.
yeah. So I want to put villagers in certain parts of the
Mm-hmm.
island, and then I want to customize the outside of their house. Like I want to build them a little yard, and
Yes,
I
that's
think
lovely.
I think Apple's house will also include a small apple orchard,
Oh, that's so
right?
cute.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I may do that.
Big
Um,
fan.
I did also hop into doing some Zelda, which was a lot of fun. Did a couple
And you're playing Breath
shrines,
of the Wild,
Breath of the
to be
Wild,
specific.
yeah,
Yeah.
and what did I do? I did a couple of shrines, and I did get some ancient armor. I got enough ancient gears to get the ancient armor torso piece,
Mm-hmm.
which was pretty great. And I went back to what's that village where they get married? The town where they get married. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I think I almost have all of the map opened up.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of it is still not explored though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a ton of it that's not explored. But what I'm trying to do is I scout for the towers, and then I'm like,
Yes.
okay, I'm just gonna go that way to the next
Beeline
tower.
for the tower.
Yeah, and then open up that part of the map so I can see. Yeah,
Yeah, I like to focus on opening the map in games like that.
yeah, yeah. The map is huge. Like it is so so
Mm-hmm.
so huge. Um, and yeah, I did some of the shrines were really good. I went back to what's the bird village? Starts with a Z.
Ah,
Zito.
Terrytown is the one that you were thinking
Terrytown,
about.
thank you. Yeah, I went
Terrytown.
back to Terrytown to visit the
And I think you mean
newlyweds.
Rito Village.
Rito Village. What did I say?
Zito.
Zito. Well, close enough.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to Rito Village and I had to like look for all the children because they were having some sort of recital out by this set of rocks on the other
Yes. I
side of
love
the
that little
water.
mini
It
quest.
was
Yeah.
so cute. It took me forever to figure out that what they were singing was like a pattern, like a password
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I was like, is this all they're going to sing over and over and over again? Like, this is okay. Now what? What do I do? It took me forever to figure that out. It's painful. Yeah, that was Zelda. And then Jess and Hobbit and I played a little bit of Deep Rock this week, which was nice to hop into some Deep Rock. We finished all of our Halloween stuff. We got all the scary masks and the cosmetics. Um, and I'm very pleased to announce that the Mini Mules mod and the Googly Eye mod is now working once again.
Yay.
So we now have the Googly Eye mod back. It is great. It makes things less scary. And some of the giant things that are like sticking out of the ground that want to like attack you, they have giant googly eyes on them, but they look like Muppets because they're just like
Oh,
it's
that's
it's so
great.
good. Yeah, it's very good.
I demand more googly eye screenshots.
Okay, I will take some. Yeah, I think I've probably got some. I'll have to dig for them, but that's my gameplay. What have you been up to?
Okay, so I actually didn't play any video games at all this week. Um, on Monday, I had a really long work day. I didn't get home from work until like 8:30 p.m.
Oh,
And then on Tuesday, a new book was released that I was really excited about.
oh
So
no.
all of my free time has gone into reading this book. So
And the book is? Tell us
it's
about the
called
book.
Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. It is the sequel to Fourth Wing, and it's basically um, like war college for dragon riders. It's like in a fantasy world, and there's like an angsty young adult romance because everybody's like in their 20s, their early 20s in this book.
Mm,
But it's super angsty romance, and there's lots of dragons, and it's a fun time.
nice. Right on.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, hopefully you'll have some gameplay for next week. We should play some
I
Animal
mean, yeah,
Crossing.
that's a goal.
That's
I
a
would like to
goal.
play some
Do the
video games.
challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. I guess that's a show.
That is a show.
Yeah. So, once again, we're sponsored by Oak and Crow Coffee. If you head on over to oakandcrow.com, pick up a bag of We Just Love Coffee blend, sorry, and $2 from every purchase of that blend goes to the Children's Miracle Network. You can send us some mail by posting in the MailStack channel in the Discord or emailing us at info@wejustlovegames.com. We're also on Twitter at We Just Love Games, Shalene at Shalene L, myself at Vendertron N. We're also on Facebook.com/We Just Love Games, Facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. Discord, our chat after dark. If you'd like to access that, you can scroll down into the About section of our twitch.tv /We Just Love Games webpage, where we also, coincidentally, live record the show every Friday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I suppose that we should also plug that we're going to be doing a GameStack episode.
GameStack, yeah. That's
Uh,
going to be the first Friday in December.
First Friday in December, so kicking off your holiday season right with the Dames. Don't forget, join us that evening. It's going to be a lovely show with several lovely ladies. And if you miss it, don't worry, because you can always catch it later on YouTube, iTunes, iHeart, Apple, Google, and Spotify. Thank you all for listening, and I will leave Shalene with the last word.
Timothy Chalamet.
Good night, all.